You're welcome to another episode of the National Agenda, your go-to political show where we discuss all pressing national issues. Today, we are going to delve deep to discuss a pressing issue that came up recently. We understand that utility bills, if I should say, is likely to go up, and the public regulators, public utility companies are looking forward to ensure that there is an enacted increase in tariffs. And we have some also proposing or totaling the sum of about 600%, if I should say. And so, for instance, let me just inform you, by way of giving you an information, let me state clearly that we have seen that the the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is looking to increase tariffs to about 225%. And this is on the background of a certain financial collapse and infrastructure needs over there. We also understand that the Ghana Grid Company, Gridco, is also looking at having a 130% increase. And over here, they are emphasizing that they also need some sort of an infrastructure expansion and reliability. And then again, we understand that the Ghana National Gas Company, Ghana Gas, is also looking to increase its utility to about 91%, and they are also citing some sort of operational sustainability and infrastructure expansion. Now, we have seen the PURC, the Public Utility Regulations Commission, respond to these things, and we've also seen some other stakeholders ask that these tariff increase or tariff hikes be put to a halt, especially looking at the fact that we as a country are still struggling or are at the verge of seeing to it that we enjoy a certain level of comfort when it comes to the economy. Now, today on the show, I have two guests with me who are going to help me delve deep to discuss these pressing issues. But before we introduce them, my name is Samuel Ofoyibanfo. Stick and stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. Let me go straight to introduce to you my guest in the studio. And for the very first time, we have in the studios Jata Nelson, who is a youth advocate, a social commentator, and even a political commentator. Jata, thank you for coming. It's great to have you in the studio.
The pleasure is all mine. I'm very, very excited to be on this platform. And I thank you very much for what you are doing for this country, because this is a platform that is devoted to matters of concern to the youth. So you are doing an amazing job, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for that. We must also commend you for commending us. We appreciate that. And hopefully you spread the news across the country of what we are doing. So we appreciate you for that.
Sure.
Also joining him today is our regular, the ever impactful Daniel Frimpong, who is the Executive Secretary and a PA to the NPP's National Treasurer, Dr. Jamina. Danny, it's good to have you in the studio one more time.
Good to be here always.
Oh, it's always good, like you always say. And I know that whenever you're in the studio, it's always boiling hot. Anyway, PURC is asking that, the price hikes and the utility hikes be put to a halt. We have also seen TUC also make their comment on that issue. We've had stakeholders in the country also talk about this. Danny, I want to start with you. The president promised us a good living condition that is devoid of unexpected increases in prices, unexpected increase in tariffs, utility. But looking at the fact that these things are happening now, what are your initial comments on all that is happening?
Phoebe, I've said it time without number that these are some of the things that happens when you lie your way through to power.
You think they lie their way through to power?
The reality will catch up with you. And that is what is happening to the NDC now.
So the reality you believe is catching up with the NDC?
The reality is catching up with the NDC.
And what do you mean by that?
When they were in opposition, they used all these things to campaign against NPP. Created the impression that we were not doing well. So the Ghanaian people should give them the opportunity. Today, here you are, increasing tariffs. The same thing that you were complaining, you were condemning the NPP about it. Today you are doing it. When they were campaigning, they said that one of their flagship program, the 24-hour economy. Do you know the explanation they were giving to 24-hour economy? When I see Katia went on a campaign platform, what was he saying? He said they are going to make sure businesses will work 24-hour. They are going to make sure that they reduce the prices of electricity to make sure that companies and businesses, factories will operate within 24 hours by giving them electricity exemptions and reducing electricity prices. So today, that same person who in opposition promised that when it comes to power, is going to do 24-hour economy. You know, 24-hour economy can work only when we have electricity, sustainable electricity. And with the prices they are mentioning, how many factories do you think can go by this prices that they are mentioning?
All right, that point has been made clear. Nelson, let me get to you. With the fact that we are seeing an already, existing increase, by way of information, let me put it on record that the Electricity Company of Ghana, for instance, in October 1st, brought up an increase, a 14% electricity tariff increase. And that is in effect as we speak. And then again, we also saw a 9.86% electricity tariff hike and a 15.92% water tariff increase, which has been approved to start on the 1st of January 2026. It doesn't look good for us. I want to hear your comments on these things.
All right. Thank you very much, Samuel. So, per what you've said to me right now, and from the speech and the statement my very good brother gave here, that the country is not on track and Ghanaians are disappointed in President John Dramani Mahama, I beg to differ. Okay. And I stand to correct him. That look, we are in a country right now that we have inflation. Inflation has been brought down to as low as 6.3% as we speak. We have been able to arrest the dollar, the same dollar that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was the chair of the economic management team, failed to arrest. We have been able to arrest it, and we brought the dollar to a little above 10 Ghana cedis. Okay. And today, as we speak, Christmas is approaching. People will be going to the market to buy goods. And a bag of rice that was sold for almost 120 cedis, today we are buying it around 80 Ghana cedis. And you can bear me witness that even import duties are lower. But so for him to say that the country is not moving in the right direction, I think he is doing the youth of this country and the viewers a very great disservice. So I just want to correct him on that. And for his information, we were in a country some time ago that we had inflation skyrocket as high as 54%. We had the dollar around 17 Ghana cedis. And he refused to speak on those matters. He did not say anything. He has refused to appreciate the effort and the consistency of President John Dramani Mahama in this reset agenda. Now back to your matter on the issue of the tariffs. I just want us to separate myths from facts. That this tariff, it is not a decision of the NDC government. This tariff was an agreement that was made between the NPP as at the time that they were making the IMF negotiations. And you are aware of that. Are you not? Someone know. Are you aware?
Yeah, I'm making a point, so I'm following. I'm making a point.
You are not aware.
Hold on. It is certainly not up to me to affirm or reaffirm as a point you're making.
Let him know you are not aware.
I just want to know whether you are aware.
Hold on. So you're making a point, so let's
okay,
carry
but my
on.
brother, are you aware?
I'm not aware.
Okay, you are not aware. That's fine. Today I educate you on that. That it was a negotiation between the NPP government and the IMF, and it was a conditionality that was given.
Was placed, yeah.
That was placed, and in order for the government of the day, which is the NDC, they must also continue from where the NPP has ended.
Left. Okay.
And if the NDC government does not ensure this adjustment, it means that the utility providers will not be able to retool, because mind you, as we speak today, the reason why the utility service providers, such as Ghana Water Company, they are requesting for almost 280% increments. Why do you think they are proposing that? Meanwhile, ECG is proposing something somewhere around 225%. Water Company is proposing that mainly because it has become very expensive to treat water.
All because of Galamsey activities.
All because of Galamsey activities. And I have said this time without number that the NPP government has failed in its mandate to fight Galamsey, has failed in its mandate to address the concerns
but can we not say same with the incumbent government?
We cannot say same.
Because we have seen a lot of promises being made with respect to the issue of stopping Galamsey, and still it looks as though we are struggling.
As we speak today, it will surprise you to know that NIMOS, their task force for fighting Galamsey, today about 21 people were apprehended.
But then again, we also know that the same NIMOS is seeking to re-strategize, because a report that came out clearly indicates that they are struggling, especially with high influence from political leaders, from traditional leaders, and some stakeholders.
And that is true. They are suffering from that, because I could recall vividly that one Elikem Kotoko, who is the deputy CEO for Forestry Commission, he made a post on Facebook that Chairman Muntumi tried calling him for him to use his influence to be able to push some of these things for him, but he refused it. So these are the problems that...
Are we saying that NDC officials or influencers have not been seen doing this?
As to whether NDC people are involved in Galamsey or not, I cannot stand here to say. But per the facts we have, we know that Chairman Muntumi is involved in Galamsey.
So
we also know. We also know that Galamsey was even happening at the backyard of President Akufo, former President Akufo.
And today it's happening at the backyard of who?
It is not happening at the backyard of the
It's not
President.
happening at the
That is the difference we have.
Gentlemen, Nelson, I want to ask a very simple question. Look, we have the Trade Unions Congress and other minority groups opposing this price hikes and tariff hikes. Can we not agree and say that there are points that they are making as enough of evidence that we as a country are still struggling in some form of discomfort or hardship? Because according to them, they believe that it is too early and it is too uncertain, because they believe we are still not certain economically. We are enjoying some sort of hardship. Can we not agree with them? Because these are clearly evidential points that have been made.
So for me, I am disappointed in the statement that was brought out by the TUC.
Why?
Because I had expected them to know better.
Okay.
And the problem we have on grounds is that the utility providers are not able to retool. They are not able to expand.
So then what were you expecting from them?
Therefore, it is necessary. What I was expecting for them is to educate the public. And they should even support the agenda of the government. Because let me educate you on something.
Go ahead.
These tax adjustments that we are speaking of, it is mainly for three other reasons, aside the fact that it is an IMF negotiation.
Okay.
The first and foremost is the fact that it is going to help the utility providers to expand, to ensure infrastructure development and then modernization. And then also, this will also help them to cover for their capital expenditure.
Okay.
And then also, this tariff adjustment we are speaking of is also intended to ensure the long-term financial sustainability of these companies, so that after they have expanded and are using heavy equipment, they can have enough money at their asset and base to be able to keep the services in flow. And now there is also something that we call the cash waterfall mechanism, which is also a vision that the President John Dramani Mahama is pushing. And clearly, as we speak today, do you know that President John Dramani Mahama has been able to pay all independent power providers 100%? We are not owing any power provider as we speak today, and that is because of the cash waterfall mechanism. This mechanism ensures that the money that consumers pay for utilities, the money goes through a system, and that system prioritizes the bills that the country is owing, and that system ensures that independent power providers are being paid right on time, so that you and I will not be in our homes and be experiencing doom so. So that you and I will not be in our homes and be
we still have
experiencing
pockets of
water
doom
crisis.
so happening. For instance, before we came on the show,
Yeah.
I phoned through to all the way to Takoradi, and I understand that some parts of Takoradi are still in some form of a darkness. So we cannot emphatically say that these procedures and policies would eradicate doom so for good.
Doom so, as we speak today, has been eradicated. And I say that because the ECG comes out to tell us every time that whatsoever problem might be for power outage in any area, it's definitely due to technical problems.
So, and not due to the fact that we owe service providers. Okay, I'll come back to that.
Thank you very much.
A lot has been said. Let me just ask, are we moving forward or not? Because I'm asking this question because simply it looks as though the minority group, which is the Trade Unions Congress, and all those that would be affected, you and I, will be affected. How are we going to mitigate these issues and make sure that what reflects in our pocket as compared to what we are going to pay would match up, that will not be affected?
Phoebe, I said it in your studio when Arthur Forson went to Parliament to read the budget, that the NDC is good at throwing figures out than what happens on the ground, the reality. And that's what my brother is just doing. Let's mention figures. We've done this.
And you think he's just mentioning figures?
He's just mentioning figures. Phoebe, you see, we are in this country, we are deceiving ourselves. We are doing a great disservice to ourselves. Ask my brother, when last did he buy dollar? He should ask himself. Last week I went to buy dollar. I went to the bank, and the bank told me that they are not giving me unless I have a ready ticket and visa that I'm traveling outside. And
why is that? Which state institution is mandated to regulate all these things? And even if that happened, did you make the efforts to even make a report or a complaint?
That's not the first time. I will not even make a report. I will not make a complaint. Where will it go? The NDC is behind it. I've told you.
How do you confirm that the NDC is behind this?
I am telling you that their way of throwing out figures, which the reality, that's not what is happening. It's one great disservice they are doing to Ghanaians. Why would I go to the bank and the bank will request that if I don't have a ready ticket and visa, I will not be giving the dollar for whatever reasons I'm going to use it for? You understand? But he's here, sitting here, quoting dollar rate, which when you go to the grounds, that is not the actual price.
So what is the actual price?
Good.
He mentioned something less than 10.
A little above 10.
And I am telling you that I got dollar around 12.3.
From which place? If
that one is not for me to share with you.
Because
I am telling you that.
Dollar rate of
I
the
am
stock
telling you
market
that. I am telling you that when the NDC was in opposition, they were telling us that Bank of Ghana has the rate, Abochi has the dollar. It's the same thing that is happening in their regime.
Exactly.
That is what I'm telling you.
That in the black market.
I am telling you that in the black market, they are quoting 10 point about a little above 10. But in the black market, it is 12.3.
But where is the place of the black market on our stock exchange?
I am telling you that. You're asking that they have the power. They should be doing that. It's not my job. Because when we were in power, they criticize it. They say we should do the right thing. But today they are in power.
Danny, the question I want to find out is this. Does it mean that because the NPP is in opposition, we should not put the government on their toes? We should not help them in policy making and just allow them to sit
I told you the last time I was in this studio that the minorities' work is to put the government on check, put them on their toes. When something is going wrong, we put them on check. But the only thing we can do is to come out and criticize whatever they are doing. Because if they don't invite you on a round table to see the way forward, how we can develop the country, they are in power. Okay. They have the power to do so. He mentioned certain things. I'm coming. Let me speak to some of the things he mentioned.
Quickly.
He talked about the utility increase, tariffs increase in the utilities. And he tried to attribute it to the NPP that we did that negotiation with IMF. You see, when they were in opposition, they were singing different songs. They are in government now, and you are coming to tell me what? You are in power. When they came to power, they did renegotiation with the IMF. They've met the IMF a couple of times.
And what was the renegotiation
and even the trenches of the money they were releasing to NPP when we were in power, when they assume power, they've received some. So what is he talking about?
Okay.
They are in power. Second,
you mentioned they've received some. For the purpose of education, I would be glad if these sums you're talking about could be stated clearly.
You should allow me
to
talk about the issues he has raised.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He went ahead to say that Untumi is in Galamsey and he called one person to intervene for him and all those things. You see, when they were in power, what didn't they say? They said that Akufo-Addo, the powers of the country has been entrusted into the hands of Akufo-Addo. It is incumbent on Akufo-Addo to declare a state of emergency. What has changed? What kind of double standardness is the NDC doing? What are they doing?
Danny, let's get back.
No,
Let's get back.
No, I'm coming. Let me land. He has raised issues. I should talk to the issues he has raised.
But we don't have much time.
No, but
let's go back to the Samsasi.
For the purposes of being honest to our viewers,
go ahead.
We have to. When he raise issue which is not true, I have to talk about it. If not, I'm doing great disservice to my viewers, and that is what I'm talking about. So you should let me at least
carry on.
Because when you talk about Galamsey in a previous government, it was the reason why Ghanaians voted against NPP and voted for you. You promised Ghanaian people that when you come, you will declare a state of emergency.
Okay.
You sign undertaking to declare a state of emergency. So you sit in this studio and you are telling me that to me and why are you mentioning to me? You are in power. The powers in this country has been invested in you.
Okay.
Use it.
Right.
Don't sit here and blame someone who is in opposition. It's not right.
That point has already been made.
He mentioned something that today Dumso, and I was happy when Dumso is not there. What's my brother saying? Is he in this country at all? Even within this week, I've experienced last week. I experienced Dumso in my area. What is he talking about?
Okay.
Is he in this country at all? Why are you deceiving the ordinary viewers of this program?
That point has
You're not being fair.
Nelson,
my brother.
I want to find out: are these price hikes or the tariff hikes justifiable as compared to the loophole that exists in the energy sector? The fact that the energy sector is still battling and suffering with some sort of logistical inadequacy. Do you think that these price hikes are justifiable?
You see, I have stated earlier that to ensure that we are being fair to the viewers, I personally like this platform because it is a very educative platform.
Certainly.
And you have a lot of youths watching.
Yes.
They are looking up to us.
Yeah.
They want to know what are Ghanaians thinking, what are Ghanaians saying.
Okay.
So whenever I get a chance to speak, I deem it a great privilege and a responsibility to ensure that I speak only the truth.
Okay.
That was why I stated that as we speak today, the state of our utility service providers, they are not in good state.
Okay.
And that is the fact. And
evidentially, it is clear.
It is
because
clear.
The Ghana Water Company, for instance, has stated clearly that they struggle. It takes them a lot to actually purify our water.
Yes.
And that point has clearly been made. So,
Daniel,
I'm making a point.
You as the host,
allow me finish. Danny, please allow me
you finish.
So it is very clear that, I mean, the public utility companies and regulators need some form of a retooling. That point has clearly been made.
Yes.
We've seen that even with the ECG, where tools that they require to even do their job is inadequate. We've seen that of the Ghana Gas from time to time. We've seen government make policies to see to it that they operate like it is expected. However, we are also not losing sight of the fact that the Ghanaian people, the average Ghanaian person, will be affected with these price hikes. And that's one thing I don't want us to lose sight of. That's why I'm asking that, are these things justifiable? Are these price hikes justifiable?
You see, when the proposal came from ECG and then the water providers, they pegged it around 225. That was for electricity.
Okay.
And then for water, it was around 280 something. That was what they requested as increment in their service distribution charges. So the government went back to the drawing board, taking into consideration the fact that they do not want to overburden the average Ghanaian. They do not want the vulnerable consumer to be affected highly. So what the government did was that they had to find a way to make the prices or the adjustments moderate. Now let me remind you of something. In 2022, under the NPP, under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they increased electricity tariffs as high as 27%. 27%. You see.
So what is happening now with the increase? Because But if we can make any argument, we need to juxtapose it with what is happening.
Yes. So now what is happening is that the electricity tariff, as it is going to be effective January 1st, is around 9.8, and then we have utility for water. It is around 15.92%.
But if that's the case, how then is it that we still have the minorities, the TURCs, still arguing that this is not the time, because we as a country seem to be struggling?
So let us look at the bigger picture. Is TUC interested in just criticizing the government, or they want to get the work done? They want to ensure that you and I, we get water supply. They want to ensure that we have access to electricity. The truth of the matter is that the NPP has mismanaged the economy. For the NPP government is so corrupt, is so corrupt, and so they were not able to manage the economy properly. So these companies have been starved. These companies have been starved for so long, such that if we do not intervene early, they may collapse. Okay, and so, that will still come back to haunt us.
Can't we have
necessary?
Sorry, I had to come to you. Can't we have a holistic way of resolving these long-starving thing you are talking about? For instance, where that 9% increase may even be a little bit less, because we should look at a more holistic way. Because if we look at the holistic way, then we meet the minority's perspective on this whole issue.
The minority has failed to even give a perspective. When you read, I have read their communique, and they haven't stated any proposed, or let's say, okay, you are criticizing the government that what they are bringing is too high. Okay. So what are you suggesting?
Okay.
And that was the point that was missed in their statement. Their statement appeared as though a politically motivated statement. Okay. And that is not good for our country. Okay. Let us always focus on the future.
So Nelson, we will be going very soon. I want your last words on this, and then we move to Danny.
So my thank you very much again. It's a privilege to be here. And all that I'm going to say is, we have a nation to build. We have a country to develop. So whenever matters arise, we need to be conscious, and then let us always look at the bigger picture of getting the problems solved. And if we are interested in getting the problem solved, then we have to know that these institutions, the Electricity Company of Ghana, the water suppliers, Ghana Gas, and the rest, they need to be retooled. They need to expand. They need to modernize their base, and they need a lot of things. That is the reason why these tariffs have become necessary. And this is not because the government wants to overburden the people. President John Dramani Mahama is so much committed to Ghanaians, and he is there to ensure that he does not overburden us. He is there to ensure that the work is done and the comfort of the people is achieved. This is the reset that we are speaking about.
Okay, that's fair. Danny, in wrapping up, let's go quickly. Then we'll come back to. We'll come back to the issue of
that one is there, but I have to respond.
I understand, but let me finish with my statement.
Okay.
So you wrap up for me, and then we'll then take your correspondence on what is happening with the NPP's presidential primaries, and then we leave.
Sure. So he talked about the water increase, the tariffs on water, and he said they are finding it difficult in purifying the water, and that has resulted in the price increase. You see, the NDC, I always say this, when you lie your way to power, these are some of the things that happen to you.
Danny, what do you mean by if they lie their way to power?
When they were in opposition, the water companies made this assertion when the NPP was in government. And what was the reason? The reason was that because of Galamsey activities, they can no more purify the water. The chemicals they are using is expensive. And because Galamsey is destroying our water bodies, that is why.
Okay, so
when they were in opposition, they promised that when they come, they are going to declare a state of emergency and stop Galamsey, so that all these things will not happen. You are in power now. You can't stop Galamsey, and these prices are going up. And you are telling us that because they cannot purify the waters, that is why you are increasing the water tariffs. It doesn't make sense.
That is not the only reason.
And I'm telling you that
that's not the only reason.
The major reason why purification of water has become a problem is the Galamsey activity.
Who caused Galamsey? When did Galamsey
started?
When
it means my father is going to stop it.
Let's move on to the next
when you are bringing someone, you should bring someone who is old enough to know that Galamsey started way back from somewhere 2008.
Hold on.
You are sitting here.
Please hold
when
on.
Atamis went to some of the water bodies to cry And you are telling me that when did Galamsey start?
Danny,
are you serious?
I think that one of the things that we have to uphold on this platform is to make sure that every guest that is on the platform is comfortable.
Yes,
hold on for me.
No one is intimidating anyone. No one is beating anyone. The fact is fact.
Relax for me, Danny. I think that it may not be in the right direction if we make certain statement that may be a bit derogatory.
What's the statement?
You may not know his age. You may not know where he's coming from. So
no.
Anybody let me set the record straight. Anybody who shows up on this show as somebody of high repute is somebody who has what it takes to do the show.
You are taking me out of context.
You made a statement.
No,
that is why you made a statement.
The statement I made was in reference to citing that when did Galamsey started in this country. When you ask that question,
yes, but then you are saying that
if you are in this country and you are old enough, you know that Galamsey started way back. You cannot blame it. You cannot blame Galamsey on Akufo-Addo.
You're missing something.
Because in 2016, Akufo-Addo campaign of banning Galamsey. So if you are telling me today, when did Galamsey started?
Relax.
What are you saying?
Relax, Danny. You don't understand my point. He has never made a point. He has never asserted to the fact that Galamsey started in the point of Akufo-Addo.
That is what he was saying.
And he has also not agreed. He has also not agreed that Galamsey did not happen then. Good. So what I'm trying to draw your attention to is the fact that we need to make sure that whoever is on this platform is comfortable. Because for whatever reason,
you are taking me out of context.
So then put it in the right context.
So in the right context of what I am saying is that I think my brother, either he traveled out or he wasn't in this because when you ask the question that when did Galamsey start? When did it start?
Okay.
Galamsey started way back. It's not today. Even Kufuor's time, Galamsey was going. Even Andan Nkrumah, our old president, and Galamsey was going on, but it didn't go to this point.
Okay.
And that is why previous politicians have been using it to do politics. That when I come, I'll make sure I'll stop it. I'll ban it. But they all failed. So when you sit here and you blame the previous government, of which now you have the power to do the right thing, and you are not doing it.
All right.
That's my point.
All right. I get you clearly. So Danny, let's move on to the next topic on the agenda.
But you are not giving me the opportunity to respond to some of the things. Why you do that? Because of late, the time you've been giving me.
No.
Is it because I'm in opposition?
No. This platform is not meant to promote anyone over
No, I'm not saying you're promoting anyone, but my time that I've been getting, I think right now you have to set a time.
But you have even used more time.
Exactly. No. Because he interacted and stopped me. Whenever you are speaking, you have the opportunity to speak. But whenever I'm speaking, he has to come in and stop me at the point.
So the next
No,
Danny,
I'm not going overboard.
Gentlemen, please.
Which of my words
let's have some
went overboard? Which of them?
Hold on. Let's have some.
Which of my words? I want you to let me know which of my words that went overboard.
If both of you, listen to me. I'm the one sailing the boat, so I'd appreciate if both of you.
Yes, for that one, yes.
So let me quickly ask, Danny, you have been our correspondent on the NPP's presidential primaries.
Yeah.
Because you have been killing involved. And so I would want to come.
I'm not involved.
No, you have been killing involved.
I'm not involved.
No, if I say you've been involved, what I mean is that you having to work closely with one of the principal officers of the party. I know you know whatever is happening, and you have even sat on the show and have spoken.
What do you want to know?
So good. So we want to come to you and quickly find out what's been happening, what's going on with the MPP's presidential primaries.
So far so good. I think everything is going on well, with the exception of little issues that has been coming up from the constituencies. So far so good. I think all the aspirants, they are doing their campaign. They are telling the delegates what they will do for them in case they win the primaries, what they are going to do for Ghanaians and their campaign messages and all that. So I think so far so good. We are on track. Everything is going on well. And I pray that by 31st, you know my position already. So by 31st, I pray that my wish will come.
Where your wishes?
You know my wish. Because now when you look at some of the things that is happening to NPP, with the numbers we have in parliament and some of the things that is going on in this country, This is the time we need a leader like Kennedy Japan, someone who is bold, who is pragmatic, someone who can speak out when his people are being intimidated.
And you think the former vice president will do justice to it?
You see, every human being, every person has his charisma. He's not that kind of, he doesn't have that kind of charisma. You know, he's that cool type, and sometimes there are certain things he will just be quiet over it and let it. No, that's not the kind of leader we need. At this very moment we need a leader who is pragmatic, who is bold, who can speak out when issues of this are going on against the party. You understand? Because, you see, today, when you listen to some of the songs the minority was singing in parliament, there has been allegations that Mahama is propagating for a third term, which we will resist it with even the last breath.
Who is
made
that allegation?
And I am telling you that
Danny, so you need a leader
as a minority, and as a party like NPP, we need a leader. Now, the moment we find ourselves in, we need a leader who is bold, who is pragmatic, and who can match.
You don't think all the other candidates
that is my view.
Okay, that
is my view. That Kennedy Japan is the kind of leader that we need at this very moment. He is the one who can lead us to the promised land. 2028, we are coming back to power. In this your studio, I'm making this statement that 2028, the NPP is coming back to power, and we will be in this country. And I'll come back to this studio and tell you that I told you some time ago that the NPP will come back to power.
Certainly,
and we are back in power.
We'll be waiting.
Yes, and I think when that time comes, when I come to this studio, you will increase my time more and give me more time. Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, Danny, thank you so much for your time. I mean, I appreciate you a lot, and I love how you put your things. And going forward, when we'll follow this story keenly, and we hope that on the 31st.
Yeah, 31st January, yeah.
So we have approximately a month and a few weeks. Yes,
weeks, yeah.
We'll follow the story
Sure.
And
We are praying.
Whatever happens, we'll talk about it. Nelson, it's been wonderful having you in the studio for the very first time.
It's a privilege.
Yes, and I know that the over 60% of Ghana's population who are youthful are watching us, and they really appreciate what we are doing, and so we are grateful. We hope and pray that policymakers out there would listen to what that we are saying, and going forward would implement policies that will see to it that the average Ghanaian is comfortable. I mean, at the end of the day, why do we vote for them? They owe us. It's a social contract. Every leader owes every Ghanaian just by voting for them. So we expect that the incumbent government continues to do what they think they are doing and to help us. And then we're also expecting that the opposition will continue to put the government on its toes.
Sure, we will do that.
For us as youth, we are looking forward to see to it that every youth in this country has a job to do. So please, we hope and pray that the NDC would continue to deliver on their campaign promises, like the 24-hour economy and all that.
They are already on
exactly.
it, so.
That's what we are looking at for. So viewers, this is where we draw the curtains down on today's episode. It's been very fruitful. It's been very mind-blowing. We have heard a lot of recommendations and recommendations from my guests. Let me appreciate them for coming through. Please, let's get interactive on all our social media handles. You can find us on YouTube, The National Agenda, on Instagram, The National Agenda. You never know. I always say on this show that one of these days, your opinions will be aired on the show. And if there's anything probably you think that we need to address in your neighborhood, please get into our DM and let's have an interaction. This has been The National Agenda, and my name still remains Samuel Obibu. Thank you for sticking and staying with us.